Hey, good morning and welcome to BCB Live. I'm mic'd up, wanted to make sure. Hey, Rick here with the BCB. Sir Rick, as you see up here. Drive safe, Dave, and the producer way over there. Hey, good morning to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Drive safe. Tell me about that weekend, buddy.
Man, it was a beautiful weekend. Every day was gorgeous. Every moment was beautiful. And I did actually get to go outside and cook a little bit this weekend.
What'd you make?
Ribs.
Okay.
Smoked some ribs.
Speaking of ribs, hey, we did that story last week on Wednesday, talking about the gentleman from South Lake, Texas.
Yeah.
So the Rancher's Ranch, I think is what it's called, Ranch House. There we go. So I ordered a little bit of meat from him. It gets delivered today.
All right.
He emailed right away and he goes, hey, you know what? I want to be on that BCB Live. I want to tell the rancher story of what y'all said. So drive safe. I thought it was cool, and I was trying to think of, the rest of the story. Something like Paul Harvey's. When we do these news stories, producer, I feel like we should have something on there. We talked about you. You come up here and, okay, how much of what we said was even true?
Look, how about the BCB facts? Because we got BCB trucking. How about the BCB?
Fake news or not? Let's give them a chance to say, all right, guys, look, I appreciate the story, but like none of it was true. Here's what really goes on. So I thought, so fake news or not gives them an opportunity after we do a story with somebody to tell their side. Hey, how much?
Hey,
you
guys are way off. You guys are way off. Let me just tell you, it's not quite as exciting as y'all made it out.
They're gonna be like, hey, did you even read the article?
No. So I looked at the picture, and the picture told it.
Deductive reasoning. So did you get to go to Joe T's? You invited myself and my wife to Joe T's. I appreciate that. Hey, but drive safe, Dave. You know what? If I'm suffering right now, if I'm suffering from, let's just say I'm suffering from a drug rehab thing, and right now I'm kind of holding back from eating, right? I'm kind of dieting. You don't take me to the pool hall if I'm an alcoholic and say, hey, Rick, let's go up to the bar and shoot pool. You know what? You can't invite me, somebody that's on a diet, to go to Joe T's. I've never, ever walked out of Joe T's and say, boy,
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I always overeat. Who doesn't overeat in that place?
You know what?
So what's up with that?
Well, you know what? My wife really wanted to go with Kendra. You just happened to be the add-on invite, but we didn't go because y'all didn't go. So we decided not to go ahead and go. We were going to go. It was a beautiful day. We ended up working outside in the yard a lot longer than we had anticipated, and ate up the day and got some stuff done around the house. My wife wanted to reorganize the backyard.
I did a little, so I took the power washer out. I did a little manual labor this weekend.
Yeah.
Felt good, cleaned up everything, got it ready to go, hung some lights, just getting ready for,
Wow.
My daughter's having her thing, and of course the lights, it almost all worked. And I got one little issue, so I got to fix that part. But it looked pretty good. I was impressed. I was proud of myself for going out there and doing it. Kendra didn't have to ask. She didn't have to nag me. I did. As a matter of fact, I think it was me nagging her, saying, come on with it. Let's put the lights up. So it was.
Hold the ladder.
Yeah, it was. So I did some ladder climbing. Yeah, so
I'm so
I did
out
good.
on ladder
My
climbing.
knees were good. I walked this weekend. I even ran a little bit. I call to run a soft jog, a quick walk. Maybe it's just more like this.
Power walking. Power walking.
It seemed like a run to me.
It's kind of running.
But, I enjoyed it. Great weekend. Boy, I don't know if you've seen that too. A good recruiting class coming in this week. Hey, kudos to our recruiters out there. Kudos to our drivers out there referring people over here, making things happen. It's what it is. Drive safe as we go at 26 days now, driving safe.
That's correct.
12 days of getting out and look. We continue to build up on these big streaks, and it's important that those that come into here are in the know of what it is to be a BCB driver.
Yeah, we got a chance to share in not only what we do here and practice here, but they need to be a part of the BCB streaks. They need to be a part of the understanding of what the BCBs of trucking are. We need to get them in, get them to understand what we do here, how we do it here, and make a difference here. I mean, they have a chance to come in right away and make a genuine difference.
Well, so when you're brand new, sometimes you just don't feel like you're part of a company. But for you coming into this company, brand new, day one, listen, we want you to feel part of this thing and know that your decision to drive safe, your decision to protect life, it's critical to all of us. It's a decision that you have to make every single day. And listen, you're not alone. We have drivers drive, and we've seen some crazy, crazy videos. We've seen some ambulance fall off. We've seen cars run off in front of us, people on a bicycle crossing over the road. Hey, listen, if you're new, if you're here and you've been here for 10 years, you've got to expect the unexpected because it can happen at any time.
Yeah, the videos are just demonstrating that the exceptions to the rule are almost the rule. I mean, and that whatever's crazy going on, and even the videos today, as we go through the videos today, they show some crazy stuff still going on out there, you know, some bad things happening, and we've got to be aware that it's an ever-changing, dangerous environment out there on the road. And we're going to do this together. We're going to continue to talk about it together, but you have to be prepared out there on the road to make sure that you know that it will change, that what happens out there, it's just not always going to be running down the highway because the dangers are constant. The dangers are happening every minute.
Yeah, and drive safe. We know this part right here. And if you're out there, hey, look, we know it's not you, right? I mean, it's not always you. More times than not, it's the four-wheelers. This past Friday, boy, we got a torrential downpour of rain here. It just came down. The highways were, we're kind of getting a little bit of flooded, water ponding going on, and there were some major accidents right here on 287.
Right.
And the cars just don't realize that. They don't understand that they can't drive the same speed. And when you're out there in that rain and it's coming down and you feel comfortable with your speed, you've got to make sure that the cars are also, that you're feeling comfortable with their decisions. Because you're going to expect them to go fast, and that water's going to hit them a little bit different than it hits you, and they just sometimes don't think, they don't have that experience.
There's no way they have the experience. There's no chance that they have the experience, and they're just, compared to what the drivers drive, what you'll drive in 2 or 3 years is more than what these four-wheelers will drive in a lifetime. So you just got to be prepared around them, got to understand that they're inexperienced drivers. They don't know how their car will react in these ponding moments. When you're going at 70 miles an hour or 75, that car will lift right up and start to spin, and you just got to be careful.
Yeah, and you always have to look out for others. Listen, it's not just here that we have to do that. It happens in space as well. We had a near miss, right, up in space, SpaceX. They almost hit a UFO, drive safe. It was reported. It's good, solid news. It was reported from the sun, so we know it's true.
Well, I just want to let you know that if they would have followed a good, proper speed and spacing, they may not have had this near miss.
Yeah, if anything, it seems like maybe these astronauts should have had their blinkers on whenever they came in.
Hazards.
They should have had their hazards
going
on.
Up with hazards
they
on?
were entering an alien construction zone, and they should have had their hazards on and their speed reduced.
Well, hold on. I mean, we know right here, right, with speed and space. We talk about it up there. So I don't know the exact correlation, but they were 45 kilometers from this object. I mean, seriously? Speed and space? I mean, they're 35 miles from this thing.
Well, according to the NASA spokesperson, Mr. Dick Humphreys, the closest the UFO ever got to the spacecraft, like you said, was 45 kilometers, and there was no real danger to the crew or the spacecraft. And the team of 4 space astronauts, were propelled into the third crewed mission to go into the International Space Station yesterday, where they did almost hit. The article continues to say almost hit 45 kilometers away.
It's a drive safe. But hold on. So now you have Sir Rick that runs SpaceX. I'm saying, hey, listen, hey, you up there in the control room, if my alert goes on, I need you to call the space person. What are you saying to him, drive safe, as you call him up there because his alert just went off? You just got a driver warning message on your email, and this was up in space. Hey, he's following too close. Drive safe. What are you saying to him?
I just want to know if the collision avoidance system is activating properly. And make sure that it diverts. They couldn't even divert. But see, you say 45 kilometers, but at those speeds, 45 kilometers can close within seconds. Because, some of those debris is flying at what? 100,000 miles an hour? How fast are they flying?
Oh, come on.
I can hear. Okay, I do know that space debris does travel at like some hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. And it does have like a small speck of space trash has enough force to pierce an astronaut's suit and then actually propel them out. So
It's like a bullet. It'll go right through the craft. I mean, it'll go right through the ship. But I'm just saying, you got to be careful. You got to be, you know what? I truly believe that somebody wasn't watching the radar. You know what I mean? Just somebody woke up drinking coffee and then realized, whoa, we've got something inbound. And by the way, when they say unidentified flying object, are we talking about another spaceship?
I don't know.
Could it be? Could it be another spaceship? Could it be aliens?
It's simply an unidentified.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Could it be
object.
aliens?
Could be a rock.
We could see airplanes from other countries come in, and that's technically an unidentified flying object until we identify it.
Okay, I'm saying it could be aliens.
And I'm a supporter for aliens just as much as everybody else is. Trust me.
You know what we talked about aliens this weekend or on Friday afternoon. We spoke a little bit about that. And all I got to do is this. Here's my thing. You got to trust your source, Drive Safe Dave. There's probably one source worse than BCB, and that's probably the U.S. Sun.
That's what do they call those yellow? What are those yellow papers? What do they call that? I can't remember.
Yellow Pages
journalism?
went out of business a long time ago, I think.
Yellow journalism, yeah. I'm not saying. Have you seen the Inquirer? I think it's pretty close.
Hey, I mean, I think we're about as close as we can get to the Inquirer. And also, to answer your question from earlier, most space junk, those pieces of debris in space travel about 18,000 miles per hour.
There you go. Well, that's not fast enough.
Yeah,
well,
that's not 100, is it?
No, it's
How
not
do
100.
you go to? And you're acting like the point proven. I mean, you said 100,000 miles per hour.
Okay, but what, 18,000 miles an hour?
That's not near as fast as 100.
But you know what is coming at us pretty fast is that time for the phrase that pays. So Drive Safe Dave, you want to lead us into that phrase that pays?
Changing bad habits may be a chore, but being safer is what we adore.
One more time.
Changing bad habits may be a chore, but being safer is what we adore.
All right, Drive Safe. A lot of drivers, hey, pull over if you haven't yet, because you're getting ready to hear the explanation from Drive Safe Dave on what that should mean to you. Because if it means something to him, it's usually right, and it should mean the exact same thing to each and every one of you.
You know, we talk about it every day, and we work on some of the bad habits that we've created over the years of driving, how close we get to trucks and how close we get to other vehicles and stale green lights. We're working on changing some of them, UFOs, and we're working on changing some of the bad habits that create a dangerous situation or doesn't protect life. And what we want to do is make new habits and new stuff so that we do protect life and that we do the BCBs of trucking.
All right, Drive Safe. That was a lot, and it meant a lot to everybody.
I know it does.
Thank you for what you do. Thanks for spreading that. Hey, listen, we know Buckle Up Bob's gone for the week, right? Hey, so listen, a lot of questions are going to come in. What is the exact protocol, Drive Safe, this week for Buckle Up Bob being gone? Don't make any mistakes. You know, if you don't make any mistakes, then we won't even notice he's gone. Don't have any logging errors. Don't follow too close. Don't, make sure your speed's good. Don't mess up.
There you go. I like.
You know what?
I
we
like
won't
that.
ever need Buckle Up Bob.
Just no mistakes whatsoever. I did see a paper that he sent out.
Is he a necessary evil? I mean, think about his position. Buckle Up Bob. Bob,
same with claims. The same with claims.
Same with maintenance, right? I mean, if you don't.
No, wait a minute. Whoa. You've got to remember it's maintained, not just repair.
Oh yes, we need to remember that. That's a good point. Good point. So listen, if you have anything, do we know that we have the protocol to make sure everybody knows?
Yeah, the Bob sent out an email. I read it. I didn't bring it with me today, but I will tell you.
Kind of like our news stories, right? We just got no
I read
pictures,
it, but I didn't bring it in here.
Where are the pictures at? Hey, listen, you have your driver manager. Make sure you call your driver manager. We have Paul Bridovich going to step up and help in that area as well. We haven't seen Paul here in a little bit. But let me tell you something. We got to get Paul back here because that voice. If you haven't heard Paul he's got a new we do a little conference call every day. He's got a microphone. I'm telling you, that dude is Paul Harvey all the way.
Oh my goodness, Paul. Paul is Paul.
He is absolutely, he really is. Hey, Drive Safe Dave, let's get going with some safety here.
But before that, let's get a message in from our sponsors.
Welcome to Rapid Fire. This time we are going to be doing it with Tori. Welcome.
Hello.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no pressure. We're going to jump right in.
Okay.
What's the best age?
Best age to be?
Yeah.
16.
What's for dinner tonight?
Taco salad, I think.
Ooh, yum. Do you respect Kanye West?
I don't know much about the guy, so sure.
Is double dipping at a party ever acceptable?
No, it is not.
Are rats cute?
Yeah, I used to have one as a pet.
You had a rat?
I did. I had two, actually.
Have you ever slapped someone in the face?
Yeah.
Ask permission or beg forgiveness?
Ooh, depends on the situation.
Name a word that starts with the letter Q.
Question.
If you were really hungry, would you eat a bug?
Ooh, I would have to be really hungry. I really hate bugs.
And lastly, how long can you hold your breath for?
Oh, maybe like 30 seconds.
Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right, everybody. Bob's not here today, so we're going to go ahead and try to do this without him. I will tell you that the topic of this week, in the safety topic that he had left for us, is visual and listening checks. I do know that starting in the 1st of May, the week of May, we're going to have actually have a blitz that's going to occur. And so there's a lot of things that we want to do to get prepared. Not only do we want to make sure our paperwork and all that stuff inside of our, what we talked about, logs and the issues that we were working on last week, but we're going to talk about some of the stuff that has to do with the trucks this week. And the first thing we want to talk about, which is the easy hits, which is the easy ways to go, is the tires. The tires, I just want everybody to understand that it's a simple deal. We all know what they do. It's something that truck drivers do every day. And we just want to make sure that we understand that 430 seconds is the minimum tread depth allowed on steers, and 230 seconds is the minimum tread depth allowed on both drives and on trailer tires. Now, look, here at BCB, we want to make sure if you're at 330 seconds and that is our pull point, or if you're at 530 seconds on the steers, that is our pull point. We don't want to wait too long. We don't want it to get too close. We want to make sure that we have good tread depth. Make sure that you send that information to DJ and Kenny and Ben, and we get that in so that everybody is aware, and then we get those trailer tires done if there is an issue. It also incurs, hey, look, the tires themselves will change. I mean, things happen to them. They get cut, they get damaged, they get, stuff happens to them out there on the road. You know, if that happens, make sure you let us know. If they get rubbed or scraped, you might even have flat spotted. When they're flat spotted, they are no longer under the minimum requirement, and they must be changed. So if you get a chance, make sure you do your good pre-trip in the mornings and you do your post-trip. I will tell you that we do a lot of empty mile moves, and believe it or not, empty mile is really hard on tires. So if you're running a long distance with an empty trailer, make sure you post-trip that trailer, because believe it or not, that the tires can be damaged just bouncing that trailer back there 500 miles. So you want to make sure that you post-trip everything. You do your post-trip on your logs, you do your pre-trip on your logs, and you make sure your logs are correct each and every time. But we're going to talk about, I'm not going to go too much into tires. Every truck driver deals with tires every day. They look at them, they know them. I think probably one of the nice things about truck drivers is that they pretty much have enough experience when it comes to tires. As they touch them, as they see them, and as they know them, they can get them done. Make sure you do your tire checks, your pressure checks if you can. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. As the roads heat up, these tires, if they're in low pressure, they will heat up and they break down the tires and their overall effectiveness and their longevity of wear. So you got to make sure that you do what you can when you put that out there, when you go and you do your pre-trip around the truck. Remember, that's truly where the rubber meets the road. That is where you get the things done, and that is your friction. That is how you roll, that is how you turn, and that is how you stop. And you know what? These tread depths matter. And the reason the tread depths matter is that it allows for like water and other liquids and stuff like that to move in between the tires and continue a friction based on the road. So these grooves on the tire, they allow water to pass through, and they keep you from gliding on top of the asphalt or concrete, and it allows you to touch the concrete and always have friction. Just because you're heavy, if you're running on slicks or you're running on ball tires and you hit that water, you're no longer touching the surface of the road, because I'm telling you, that water can't go anywhere. It can't mash out. It can't squeeze through. It can't find a way out. And if everybody here knows in hydraulics, water liquids don't compress. Only gases do. So it's very, very important that you have grooves in your tires. That's what they're there for. They're there by design so that it makes it safer. I just wanted everybody to know that. You know, we are still in our Work Zone Awareness Week. It is this week. We talked about it. We talked about work zones. Make sure that out there, let's continue to give us work zone videos. Let's continue to see some of those videos. We saw a lot of videos last week. I still would like to see them this week. Make sure as you enter into the work zones this week that you slow down, that you go the speed limit or you go less than the speed limit, and that you are aware of your surroundings and that you pay attention. Don't be distracted inside the work zones. All right, they are important and they are necessary for you to be safe in those environments. We're going to see a couple. I think one of the videos today demonstrates how dangerous it can be in a work zone, not necessarily just for you, but for the workers out there on the road. We are at 26 days of preventable accident-free streak. We are moving on. We're almost to a month, and our get out and look backing accident streak is at 12. We're going to grow these. We're going to come back. So when Bob comes back next week, I want these streaks to be alive, and I want them to continue on so that he can see that everybody is doing what needs to be done out there on the road. And we're going to continue to talk about through the week the visual and listening checks on the trucks to get everybody ready for the DOT Blitz. We're going to go ahead and go straight to the weather map here. There is, let's see what we got. Next 24 hours, next 12 hours. It is relatively calm in the United States, period. It is beautiful. It is nice. There is not a lot of rain, wind, and or fog going on across the country. It is, I would say, if you look at here, because of the cool environment, the dry environment, as the line came through, it is not going to be disturbing all the way from the Rockies all the way east and all the way from the Gulf all the way north. I'm telling you, this side of the continent, the eastern side of the Continental Divide, is in a good position to be going well up until Wednesday. Wednesday is when it changes, so you're going to see a beautiful day today, mostly throughout the country. I will tell you, west of the Rockies, you're going to have some wind. You're going to have some difficult high winds gusting through tonight, this afternoon. Just be careful. Slow down if you get into those environments. I will tell you, if you're in Arizona, upper Utah and Idaho, they're going to be a little gusty winds, not sustained winds, but gust winds. So be careful, slow down if you get in those environments. But really, no need for a geofence today in those areas, as they're not going to be too much. But if you do encounter some heavy winds, make sure you slow down and just be prepared. And especially if you're running empty or running very, very light. If you're dragging the box back there and it's catching a lot of wind and you feel it to be pulling left or right or pushing you into another lane, you might want to slow down or get off the road for just a minute and let them die down. Those winds won't occur until later on this afternoon out west. But today, I'm telling you, all of this is going to be absolutely beautiful today across the country. You're going to see one of those exceptional spring days. You're going to get out there, you're going to run the roads, you're going to have fun on the roads, and you're going to make yourself enjoy trucking today as you're out there rolling, because it is truly, truly going to be beautiful today.
So, Mr. Alan Arnold, what do you have for us today, sir?
Hey, good morning, Mr. Dave. Morning, Dylan. I just want to emphasize on something here, okay? And it's really, really good. All right. Mr. Dave, can you remember when Dylan started? And when he would talk, he was, just talking. And today, no, I'm being honest, Dylan. You were just going through the motions. You were talking. But today, okay, you are into the conversation. You are explaining. You're more comfortable. And I would just want to say you're doing a great job. And this right here, this show is a testament to how it can change anyone's perception of safety. You're much more confident in what you're talking about today than what you were 3 months ago. Great job.
Well, I appreciate that, Alan, and I'm glad that I am no longer just a talking head, but a talking head with some knowledge,
kudos
too.
To you.
Kudos to Dylan.
Kudos to you, Dylan. All right, who else we got?
Yeah, we also got Jay Cree and Jeff Marsh. So, Jay, what do you got for us today, sir? How you doing?
Morning, guys. Morning, Dave. I talked to a mechanic the other day, and you brought up tires today, and he gave me a tip that I've been driving 12 years. I didn't know this. You know, your tire gauges that you check tires with. If you look on the stick that pops out, 230 seconds goes from the end up to the top of the P. 430 seconds goes to the bottom of the P on that. So if you're walking around doing air on your tires and you don't have a little tire gauge, it's just a tip for other drivers. You can use your little dipstick right there and check your thing. Because if you go all the way up to 10, it's actually 30 seconds on there also. We actually measured it when we were changing out my steer tire that day.
You're talking about on your tire gauge, your air pressure gauge?
Yeah, your air pressure.
Yeah, your air pressure gauge, yeah. Yeah, you can use that as a, you know what? And I'll tell you what, if you ever get an opportunity, you can always use a quarter. You can always use a nickel. You can always use something that once you mark it, and then once you understand where it is on a quarter, on a nickel, on anything, and yeah, you can definitely use the tire pressure gauge because it is a metered stick as well. So you can use whatever you can to better measure if you don't have that tread depth gauge on your lapel. You know, like sometimes you can't find it. You get in the truck and you're like, I don't know where my tread depth gauge is.
And
but
230 seconds higher than the head on the nickel. That's what I always told. Put the nickel in, it's over his head on the nickel.
Yeah, if it's over the head of the nickel, it's over 200.
You're good, right.
Yeah, no, and you know what? You can use any tool that you can to use to your disposal. I just want everybody to know that as we talk about tires and we're going to do tires, we're going to get ready for the Blitz. If you find a tire there, let's just figure it out. Let's do it. Let's call it in, and let's get a 39 code on them, okay? What else you got?
All right, we got Mr. Jeff Marsh. Let me get you unmuted, sir. And what do you have for us today?
What's going on, Jeff?
Actually, I didn't really have anything. I'm over here in East, over here in West. I'm over here in one of these Texas towns. And
he's over here east, west. Where are you at, Jeff?
I'm actually going to El Paso.
Okay, that would be West Texas. It's actually West Texas, but that's okay. That's East California. I like to call it El Paso, East California, or West Texas, one of the two.
So I mean, what it was I'm losing signal every once in a while, and I think when it came back, it just raised my hand for me. So
did you see any of the videos, Jeff?
Yeah, I've seen the videos.
What about those workers out there in the middle of the road, just standing out there in the middle of the road without any protection?
I see it all the time, and one of the biggest things I've said before is when they're putting. I've always called them city titties, but the reflectors, when they're putting those down, okay, the guy is on this little bitty stool on the corner of that truck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And I mean, he's right there by the lane, so it's like nothing really new. And a lot of times when they put those when they change lanes and everything, and they put those temporary markers down, or not, but
The little mud flaps.
you know, the little strip and everything. I mean,
Yep.
they're not protected there either. So, I mean, we see it all the time. You just gotta see what's going on, and you just gotta slow down. And that driver did a real good job of slowing down and then taking the shoulder.
Give them space. Do you have that video up? You show that video again. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. You know, it's so tough. I look at this video. Why isn't that Scorpion in the road?
Yeah,
Why isn't
exactly.
that trailer Scorpion out there to protect those guys in the road?
That's what it's for.
Yeah, it's designed there to protect those guys, and they're just. Well, I guess the guy, if a car or a truck's coming through there not doing what it's supposed to be doing,
Wow.
man, that truck doesn't need to be on a shoulder. It needs to be in the roadway.
Well, even the light that's flashing, telling people to get over, is in the lane over from where the workers are. So people are getting over into that lane where the workers are, trying to
Watch
get away
this
from
startles
the road.
them.
What startles them is this truck
Yeah.
hits the rumble strips.
Exactly.
So they're all good, fine, and look, everybody's good. Oh, brrr. He's
Yeah.
like, whoa,
Oh,
what's
wait a minute.
that? And then he
Yeah.
thumbs up him. He's like, okay, I got you.
That's horrible. Wow.
I'm just telling you, this right here is crazy. We talk about work zone safety. We talk about work zone awareness. Mistakes can be made in the work zone area, right? By guys out there, they're focused on what they're doing. They can get distracted, just like you can in a truck easily. They can get distracted of what's going on, and they lose sight of the true dangers out there, and that's the vehicles going around, right? So
Yes,
you just got to be mindful of what's happening there. What do you got?
All right, we got one more with Alan Arnold. What do you have for us today, sir?
Hey, I just wanted to say that construction zone right there with the workers, that video, we should nominate that driver for the speed and space for the day.
Done.
Yeah,
We'll just do it. All right.
It's as simple as just simply doing it.
It's done. We had some good videos. Alan, the fog video where the driver slowed down and moved over so that the crazy going in at a high rate of speed. Also, where the Covenant truck was coming across 2 lanes of traffic to merge in, we moved back. And also the guy that was backing off and allowed the straight truck to do his crazy maneuver.
That was crazy.
Yeah, these all are situations in which we have done the right thing, do the better thing, and do what we need to do to make it better out there on the road for everybody. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead. It is time for Ache Erre. Well, anyway, we'll wait for Miss Christie will let us know when then she comes in. I will tell you that we got it's Monday, right?
Monday, it is.
It's Magic Man Mike Day, right?
No, Mike's not here.
Magic Man Matt.
Wow, man.
That's That's the
two.
second Monday that's happened.
I don't know.
I can't believe we did that again.
I can't believe I did that either. All right, well, Matt, what have you got for us, brother?
Long weekend in the sun.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
Did you go fishing this weekend?
Fished all weekend.
Where'd
Lake
you go?
Palestine. Lake Palestine, 2-day tournament, Lake Palestine. We didn't.
Did you win?
No,
Did you
sir.
win, place, or show?
No, sir. I showed, but it didn't. No, tough weekend. The storms that came through. The females are already off the beds. Males are just protecting them now. But storms came through. They were all very finicky.
Big mouth bass tournament sounds
Yes,
like.
sir. Yep.
Sounds
Yes,
like
sir.
a big mouth bass tournament.
So no dice. Caught a bunch of crappie.
A good eating.
So yeah, we bass fished this weekend, and we bass fished this weekend, and our club caught more crappie than they did bass.
Well, that's good eating.
I mean,
You didn't even have any fried fish this weekend.
no,
did you?
no, sir, no.
Oh, you
As
should.
a matter of fact, after Saturday, I told my nephew that he fishes with me. I told him Sunday, I said, "Hey, we start catching them. We're gonna start keeping the crappie and take the crappie home because they were hitting anything bass
you were
related."
catching and releasing them too?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Oh,
we just
okay, I
let 'em
got
go.
you. What you got? Hey, okay, Miss Christie, are you finally on?
Edgar Sandoval, Sarah Rutledge, Layla Hager, and then we have 1 5-year anniversary for Juan Marquez. So happy birthday, happy anniversary. Everyone, please continue to wear your mask, wash your hands, use that antibacterial, and have a great day. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Miss Christie.
Thank you, Miss Christie.
I think we might have missed the beginning part of that, Miss Christie, but you want, we can circle back around.
All right.
That'll work.
Well,
So I will tell you this. So right as the tournament ended, and it's right along with safety. You think about how important it is on the road, and any time you're driving anything, pulling a boat or anything you're doing. So as we were weighing in, ambulance comes by, fire truck comes by, state trooper comes by. So when we pull out to leave, we go south back to 175. And then we pull up on a church, and there's a SUV that's went through the church sign.
Oh, gone all the way through the sign.
Gone all the way through the brick sign. I mean, all the way through it.
Right.
And I was telling my nephew, I said, we preach this every day about how you never know what can happen. This is let me paint the picture. It's a 4-lane divided road. Yeah. Not divided, but just
Split
with the
4-lane.
turn, with the turn in the middle, and a big shoulder. Right?
Yeah, split 4-lane.
Right, so I was just telling my nephew, I was like, hey, it's a pretty day, sunny day, no obstructions whatsoever. And how do you think this just happened? So as we go about another 100 yards, we see the Jeep Cherokee vehicle was in the tree, and it had rolled, I don't know how many times, and there was body bags in the grass.
That's a shame.
Exactly. It just shows you that a normal day of driving, every day you drive the same way. Those people were probably coming home from church or
The lake.
or they were just driving, and that just happens.
Yeah, and it happens in an instant. And as we talk about the what goes out there on the road, we have to be aware truly that we must be the leaders out there and do what's right, because we've got to stay focused. The Jeep Cherokee and the four-wheelers that are running out there, they don't weigh anything at all.
No.
They don't weigh any. They stand no chance against a big truck.
Right.
And as we talk about it, and as we learn and we realize that in the United States, 11 people every day are killed involved in an accident with a big truck, and that's every single day. 11 people, and that stat has lived for several years now. It's not changed. It's not gone down. It's not gone up. Thank God. But it's, to me, 11 a day is unacceptable.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, and those are families and lives that we can't get back. And we have an opportunity to make a difference in the industry every single day by changing what we do and creating new good habits. We talk about in the phrase of the day, we talk about bad habits. We have a chance now to create really, really good habits. And no, we're not going to stop four-wheelers colliding.
Nope, you're not going.
We're not going to stop bad things happening on the road outside of what we do. But you know what? If we can stop bad things happening around us,
yes,
and create a better environment,
right?
Maybe we can change those lives for the better.
And and that's the thing. We drove by that, and I looked at my nephew, and he's kind of just put his head down. I said, the reality of what just happened. There's a lot of people's lives just changed forever.
Families,
friends. A lot of people was just affected by that, and it could have been nothing more than a simple dog run through the road, and one car swerved over to miss the dog.
Right.
I mean, that's how important it is to be conscientious of what's going on. But I didn't mean to throw that out there. I just wanted to say that what we do here is amazing, because it's changed me, and I don't drive a semi anymore. But it still has changed me. It's changed Dylan, just like Mr. Arnold said. I mean, it's a culture. It's what you listen to every day. And so it was a depressing moment to go by there. And I looked at my nephew and I said, this is why you always got to be careful out here on the road.
Yeah,
you never know it.
Yeah, and as we continue to use the lessons that we see every day on the videos, and we continue to talk, we see great improvements in the driving skill and the driving and what's in our general core of group of people as we get better with these streaks, right? We see things happening for the better. But let's make sure that we understand that can change in a moment. That can change in a second, and that can change for the bad if we don't pay attention to what we're doing out there on the road and pay attention to what our senses tell us. And what I mean by that is, as we're driving today, out there, it's a pretty day, but there will be wind this afternoon out west. If you're driving and it appears to be too much, and out there in the truck, you know what too much is. You know what the gusts are. You know when it's time to pull over. You know when it's time to get out of the traffic area. You can be pushed around in those trucks by wind very easily into lanes where you aren't traveling, into stuff. So you got to be mindful of that. And what I mean is that these situations change in an instant, and we have to react accordingly.
Yes, sir.
We have to make a difference. So I know that you got 2 teenage boys.
Yes, sir.
And I know the lessons that, I even catch myself talking to my 20-year-old daughter, 23-year-old daughter, and my wife about safety and about driving and about stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you, I haven't always been the best driver in a four-wheeler. I always drove different in a four-wheeler than I did a truck. I drove them 2 separate, like a motorcycle. I drove a motorcycle crazy, but I drove a four-wheeler too fast. But now I catch myself making sure that I don't tailgate, that I don't change lanes quickly, that I don't drive too fast, that I don't cut people off, that I make sure the trucks move over. And you know what? It's a different feel and a different way of life. It really is. And you have a chance to pass on some of that information, right?
Yes. I talk with my boys all the time about it. It's everyday occurrence. And I'm telling them, hey, wait a minute, why are you going this fast? Because I can see it on my phone when they go over 55 or 60 and they're moving. And I know I've called Terrence several times, hey, I don't see how we went 89 miles an hour between here and Fort Worth. How did that happen? I think it's telling you a story. I said, no, it says your fastest speed was 89 miles an hour.
What is that? Is that an app that he has?
It's on the Life 360. It'll tell you their last travel deal.
Oh, it will.
And their last, how fast they went. And so he's done it one time. First time was 104. The second time was 89. We haven't had one over 70 since.
Oh, nice.
Because I just let him know if we break the 70 barrier again, the vehicle's gone.
Wow.
You can buy your own vehicle. Wow. So, but yeah, it's just, I mean, it's every day, and we get to hear this every day and see these great videos, and our guys do such a great job. But it's yesterday there was a lot of traffic coming in. I guess they had 1 million tournaments out east because I bet I ran with 50 boats coming back into the Metroplex.
You know, we saw that. We saw that video with the trailer, the four-wheeler pulling the trailer. Did you see that video?
I didn't. I saw the tail end of it. I didn't see it.
So, and as you look at it, as we get into the summer months and people are pulling heavy loads and pulling boats, they're pulling pontoon boats. They're pulling they're pulling vehicles bigger than themselves, and they create what you can see here. He loses his load. Looks like sod, and then the trailer weight turns the truck, spins out of control.
I can't see the trailer, I guess.
Yeah, okay, it's the vehicle right in front of us, right now, and then all of a sudden he hits his brakes, and of course the trailer takes over, and he starts spinning out, and he loses part of his load on the road.
It's a pallet of grass.
Yeah, and then it takes over,
spins him out,
and takes the lead on the vehicle. So, and that happens. That can happen to an inexperienced driver easily, right? I mean, you and I both know that weight of that sod.
It's heavier than what he's driving.
It's heavier than what he's driving.
Exactly.
And just like us, I mean, the trailer weight is heavier than what we're driving, and it can occur. That jackknife can occur, and that when the load is driving you, that's when when bad things happen. So you've got to make sure you understand. You don't want the load to drive you. Slow down. Be mindful. It looked like that was a small trailer. May not have had trailer brakes on it.
I don't think it did.
Yeah, and then therefore there's no. So he's and that's how they start to fishtail crazy when they try to hit their brakes, and then all of a sudden they lose control of the vehicle. So yeah, you got to be mindful of that. You're going to run into a lot of that with RVs, right? You're going to run into that with a lot of toy haulers. You're going to run.
Those toy haulers. They put the recreational vehicles in the back of it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So and then that's all that tailweight, and it's just.
Yeah, and then they attach a car or something. Yeah,
like five things attached together.
And I understand, like a fifth wheel is a whole lot better pull than a bumper pull.
Right.
And once you get to the bumper pull, that's like, to me, that's like that pit maneuver. You know, when it just a simple, that's what happens here is the tail's pushed a little bit to the left, and then you lose complete control of the vehicle.
Right.
So you're going to run into those situations out there each and every day as we get closer to the summer months and the spring months. People are going to be out boating, they're going to be out traveling, and they're going to be out taking. So be mindful of those situations.
But all in all, it's a beautiful weekend. I mean, beautiful weekend.
Gorgeous weekend.
Saturday, I did learn something this trip. As I've gotten older, I forgot my hat. I forgot my hat.
I keep one in the truck everywhere I go.
Saturday, I forgot the hat, and Saturday evening, get in, take the shower.
Oh, so you're not blushing right now. That's actually sun.
I'm not blushing at all.
That's a little bit of sunburn.
And so, then I had to spend Saturday night sleeping with my head off the pillow because when my head touched the pillow, it was hurting so bad. But I learned that I always need to wear a hat now that I've gotten older.
Well, that's safety too, personal safety.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I mean, you got to make sure that you're mindful out there in the sun. I don't want any of our drivers, they get stuck out there. They get out there in the weather. Make sure you protect yourself against not only sun, but against, you just got to make sure you're mindful of all situations. And you know what? Sunscreen, have you heard of it?
I put it on Sunday.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I didn't, but it was a blue sky day, but it was just cloudy. It wasn't.
Oh no,
it wasn't hot.
Oh, on the lake.
Yeah, it wasn't hot at all. It was just, and the clouds were coming over. Just cool day. It was I didn't think anything about it till we got in the truck and I took my glass off and I thought, oh, that's kind of red.
Yeah, I could definitely tell you were wearing sunglasses this weekend for sure. You can see where it is.
Yeah, I can see the white strip.
It's okay.
And the white circles. Good
I
stuff.
went hiking out in Eagle Mountain this weekend as well,
Awesome.
and I definitely got a little bit of sun. I didn't realize how sunny it was until I got out there, and I was sitting there, and me and my girlfriend were just sitting up there looking down at the lake, and I'm like, oh man, it's getting hot. I was like touching my face, and I was like, I can feel the red coming a little bit. It definitely make sure you guys wear sunscreen, especially if you're in the truck. That left side or right side of your face is always going to be getting that sun, and it does wear down on you. It does wear down on your skin as well. So
Yeah, and if you're
gonna
gonna hang that left arm on the window,
Oh, yeah.
make sure you put sunscreen on because make sure you protect it. I walked around for years with the left arm a whole lot more tan than the right.
Put your arm on that.
Put my arm on the windowsill. All right, everybody, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and have a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather before you today to ask for your grace in all things. Father, we ask that you give us the strength and the ability to do your will upon the world as you see it. Father, we also ask that you protect our drivers out there on the road and give them that extra wisdom, that extra ability, and that extra sense of what's going on around them. Give them the chance to be safe today. Give them the wisdom to make great decisions. And watch out for them today. Just watch out over them so that they are protected as well, either inside or outside of the truck. Father, we also ask that you give everyone here in the office the ability to help those that need it today in some way, shape, form, or capacity. Let's be a blessing upon each other today, Father, and give us a chance to do it. Give us the opportunity to be that blessing for someone else. Father, we also ask that you comfort those that may need it today, that are sick and or still have issues going on with themselves or their family. Father, we ask all these things in your name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Matt, thanks for coming in.
I wouldn't miss it, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you. All right, everybody, do us a favor. Be safe, be careful, be kind, be considerate, and be a blessing upon somebody else today by not only taking care of yourself, but by taking care of the person next to you each and every time. With that, God bless, Godspeed, and drop the mic.